I'm Hilburn Michael, your 2022 GRRA president, and I'm glad that you are all with us today for our March First Tuesday virtual luncheon. As you saw when you logged in, we had a safety tip up on the screen. I hope that you all read that, and you are going to be hearing more about safety as the year goes on. We're going to try to, at all of our meetings, give a safety tip that will come in handy and just keep it top of the mind awareness. It's going to be a real theme throughout the year. We are really excited about our meeting today. We've got a great schedule. We have our guest speaker, Craig McKinney, the transportation planner with Greensboro's Department of Transportation. And today's sponsor is MyBox Mobile Storage. So we'll be hearing a little bit from both of those shortly. So to kick off our meeting, we are going to start with cares and concerns from Lindy Pope, who's going to join us. Hi, Lindy. Oh, Lindy, I think you're on mute. Can you hear
How's
me?
that?
Oh, there you go.
Yay! Technology.
Okay. I'll turn it over.
Thank you. GRRA extends its condolences to the family and friends of the following individuals. Stephen Alexander Blackwood, former GRRA appraiser with Stephen A. Blackwood Appraisal Company, passed on January 27, 2022. Joseph Tomlinson with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services North Elm Street office lost his mother, Barbara Wankmuller, Thursday, February 10, 2022. A contribution has been made to GRRF in memory of each of these. Please keep these members and their families in your thoughts and prayers.
Okay, thank you, Lindy. So now we are going to turn it over to our speaker, Craig McKinney, Transportation Planner for the City of Greensboro and the Greensboro Urban Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, fondly referred to as MPO. Craig has been with the City of Greensboro in the Transportation Department for 36 years, and for a majority of those 36 years, he has been with the MPO. Craig is married, and his wife is an elementary school teacher, and their son, Craig just told me, recently graduated December 2021 from college, and he is now in the process of applying to law school. So I know that Craig is very, very proud about that. Peter was going to put Craig's contact information in the chat, so you'll have that. And I'm going to turn it over. Thank you, Craig.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Sorry we all can't be together, but we have to do what we have to do. I'm here today to go over several items. Let's see. There we go. I'll be talking about normally I would be talking about the 2022 to 2030 TIP, but no, I'll go into that in a little bit of detail. And then I'll go into some federal projects, City of Greensboro projects, talk a little bit about Vision Zero, and then information sources. So why will I be talking about the 24 TIP when we haven't had a 2022 TIP? The 22 TIP has been canceled. What the state is operating under is the old 2020 Transportation Improvement Program. And by federal regulations, they are allowed to. Any Transportation Improvement Program has a shelf life of 5 years. The North Carolina Department of Transportation has always been on a 2-year cycle, but for the current TIP we're under, it's going to go a 4-year shelf life. So we're looking at adoption of a new TIP in 2023. So why are they doing this? Well, they're having to rebalance the Transportation Improvement Program. If you remember back, I guess it's close to 20 years ago, this would have been the Beverly Perdue administration. NCDOT realized they had more projects than they had funding. Well, we're back to that point again. What what this pandemic has shown, not only a decrease in some revenue that NCDOT has been able to recover, but still there are more projects on the book that there's enough funding available. So what they're going to be doing with the projects that are in this transportation improvement program and also projects that we submitted for the 22 TIP, which was prioritization 6, take all those projects and reprioritize them. What will happen though, any project, and I've got it identified on the slides as committed and uncommitted. So we'll have some projects that will move from committed to uncommitted, and that means committed funding or uncommitted funding. So when I say committed and uncommitted, I'm talking about funding. And then, like I said, there's going to be a lot of coordination between now and summer of 23 between the MPOs and RPOs in the area, and then hopefully come together on a suitable list of projects for the Board of Transportation to adopt in June of 2023. So committed projects are any projects that are in right-of-way or construction and between now and 2025. So I have some projects you'll see, they'll have their right-of-way in 24 and construction in 26. That project's committed because funds have already been allocated and being spent within the first 5 years of the State Transportation Improvement Program. So on to the committed projects. The Urban Loop finally is on the verge of being completed. You may have heard some things in the news showing that I noticed a map showing it was still under construction from Battleground Avenue. And I'm like, no. I didn't have a way to get in touch with anyone, but the section is that you know should be aware of is under construction now is from Elm to US 29. And what we have been told by the NCDOT is that they are aiming to have it open to traffic. May not be fully completed, they may not have all the signs up, may not, but still, and the grass may not be growing on the shoulders, but what they intend to do is try to have it open to traffic by the end of this year, and then the project will finish up in the spring of 23. Battleground Avenue, U5892, this is a widening from where we just completed our project at the intersection of Battleground and West Ridge. It picks up there at the new signal that we put in to the shopping center and go north up to the first ramp to the Urban Loop. This project has been through some public involvement. There may be some more in future before they go to construction, or at least go to right-of-way, I should say. And right now, right-of-way is scheduled for 2024. But you can see here, this is one of the examples I was mentioned earlier. Right-of-way is in 24, but construction is in 26. But since the right-of-way is in 24, it is a committed project. Construction of R4707, this is the interchange at US 29. They are working now. I drove through it on my way here today. Right now they're working in the median to set up the center piers for the new bridge that will be constructed. So we're on construction of this project scheduled to go through 2025. I-5712, this is Sandy Ridge Road at I-40. This is some minor work to the ramps, but it'll be a widening of the existing bridge. The bridge is it's not that old, so they decided they can widen it. They're going to widen the bridge and then widen the roadway up to about Cider Road. This will be on the a 4-lane divided with bike lanes and sidewalks, And this will tie into south of 40 with the Johnson Street project in High Point. And I do not have the schedule for that one, but I do believe it also contains sidewalks and bike lanes and 4-lane divided facility. Ballinger Road Bridge, this is a second bridge that we had, this would be the second bridge that we have constructed on Ballinger Road. The first one is right close to the Leonard Recreation Center. This is a smaller bridge over a tributary to the Horsepin Creek. It's under construction. There have been some delays, but I spoke with the project manager yesterday and they're intending to have this bridge completed by the end of the year. So I need to yeah, I got that right, 2022, okay. These are other projects that are committed. R5725, this is NC 68 at NC 150 and down to Fogelman Road. This is the project in Oak Ridge where originally they were going to do a roundabout at 150 and then they, NC DOT changed their mind, but they are making some other improvements on the roadway and then I think some associated roundabouts on 150 west of NC 68. But this is in this right away this year. If it hadn't started, it'd be starting soon, and then construction starting in 23. Excuse me. Used 6127. This is sort of a sister project to the previous one. This is also work on NC 68. This is going from Fogelman Road down to Alcorn Road. This is an access management improvements. What that means is that trying to manage the turning movements at certain points along the roadway. Have not seen the concept plans. I do not know what all is entailed, but still probably a year or two out before we'll see it. But right away for this project in 25 and then construction in 27. U5852. This is Benjamin Parkway and a small section of Bryan Boulevard, widening from Wendover Avenue up to Holden Road. This is to add lanes. We're also asking for possibly sidewalks on the western side, and we've been discussing possibly having a side path for bicyclists on the eastern side. All that has not been resolved as of late. But NCDOT is planning to have some public involvement where public will be able to see what this project will entail later this year. Use 6122, this is NC 68 Gallimore Dairy Road to Triad Drive. This is to convert NC 68 to a super street. And a super street or reduced conflict corridor, I think is what you're trying to call it now, is to reduce the number of or the amount of left turning traffic by forcing traffic to make a right and then go up the street, make a U-turn and come back. R5823, this is in Stokesdale. This is basically from NC 65 or Blues Creek Road north to I-73 and US 220. This is a widening. NC DOT is still working on their concept and they do not know the extent yet, at least I have not been told yet what the extent of the widening is, but they are still looking to go to right away this year. It could be late this year. And then construction in 24 starting. R5895, this is US 29. This is the future I-785 section. This will be north of High Cone Road up into the Virginia line, essentially, to upgrade the roadway to interstate. As you get into Rockingham County, there's not a whole lot of work to be done. The road in Rockingham County is pretty much close to interstate standards. There'll be a lot of work done in the Guilford County section of it because there's still some old grade accesses along the roadway and interchanges that need to be rebuilt, especially at NC 150 So there's a lot to be done with that project, but that's right now it's still a committed project with right away in 25. Randleman Road, U5850. This is a project that we are working with NCDOT to include all that's needed for transportation users. And I'm talking about not only motorists, the pedestrians, the bicyclists, and the transit users. We have a meeting with them Thursday to try to work all that out, where the project will accommodate all users. U5851, Wendover to Cone. This project I think this project schedule is going to change because there has not been a lot of activity on it. And we've heard that they may be looking at revising the scope of the project, but yeah, that one did not go in 2020. U5852, Benjamin Parkway. Did I just talk about that one? Window to Bryant. Yeah, I did. Okay. U5842, this is Elm and Pisgah Church intersection. And then also U5812, that's Longdale Pisgah Church Martville intersections. These two intersection projects are projects that the city submitted, and we were hoping at least have the Elm Street project already under construction, because we won't have that construction completed before the interchange with Urban Loop open. But due to things that are beyond our control, right-of-way now has been pushed out for both projects to 2023, and construction to both projects being moved out to 2024. Now, I'm going through the list of the uncommitted projects. These are projects that are currently so far out, they're not funded. First one, this is a reconstruction of I-40, what NCDOT is referring to now as the Valley. This is from basically US 29 to Freeman Mill Road, looking at various access changes. One of the things they're looking at is a near elimination of the Randleman Road interchange, and then a complete rebuild at Elm Eugene interchange to something much larger than what it is today. There's still, NCDOT has not determined exactly what they want, but it's going to be bigger than what it is today. And then for I-40 through the valley, there'll be four lanes in each direction. There'll be some auxiliary lanes, so it's going to get a little bit bigger than what it is today. Other projects that are uncommitted, U6120, this is Wendover Avenue. That should be NC 68 to Guilford College Road. This is primarily in High Point, and this will be adding a lane in each direction and sidewalks. U6129, Friendly Avenue, Pembroke to Green Valley. We're looking at some intersection improvements at Pembroke Road and at Green Valley, and some access management with the amount of traffic going in and out of Friendly Center. U6100, this is US 29, let's say inside the loop from the Gate City Boulevard up to the urban loop on the north side of Greensboro. Is safety improvements along that corridor. There are a lot of at-grade intersection points that we're concerned about. The combination of the Wendover and Bessemer Avenue interchanges right on top of each other, how best can we manage those? So those are some of the things that we're looking at for the future of US 29. U6045, this is Sandy Ridge Road. This picks up where I-5712 stopped, basically side of road or north of I-40 to Market Street. We now know what they're planning to do is to go over Market Street and do a sort of a quasi interchange, and then setting up for future extension, which we now have envisioned that it would go north a little bit and then turn east and intersect Pleasant Ridge Road. But that's another future project. This one here, This one will just be up to and get across 85 and then stop. I mean, cross Market Street and stop. Use 6108, Battleground Avenue between Wendover and Fernwood, and also includes Westover in this. Now, I've been with the city 36 years. Before I came to the city, there were people already working on ideas of how to fix this area with the Battleground Lawndale crossovers and the intersection with Cornwallis and then the intersection with Green Valley and how to make all that work in a more reasonable fashion. And also throwing into the mix with this project, we would probably have already built the A and Y Greenway through this area, but what this project will entail, where it will be crossing roadways, they will be tunneling under so that the Greenway can proceed through the area unimpeded. But this is a future project. And then R2577, Section C in Stokesdale. This is still an unfunded project and don't know when it's going to get funded. Now, some committed rail projects. On the east side of Greensboro, the project that should very soon be going to right-of-way and then construction in 24 to grade separate Franklin Boulevard with the railroad. This will take Franklin Boulevard under, and then there'll be some reworking of Burlington Road and Bessemer Avenue, and sort of taking East Market Street. We're looking to take it East Market Street and run it up Huffine Mill Road to Wendover Avenue. So a lot of changes in that area. This is a project that we have a lot of community support on, and though during the construction of it, the roadway will be probably primarily shut down for 2 years, maybe a little longer. On the west side of Greensboro, on Hilltop Road and the railroad, there's going to be another grade separation project here. This will take Hilltop Road over the railroad. It'll be also widening to accommodate bicycle lanes, and it will include sidewalks with it. And I should go back to Franklin Boulevard. That project too will contain bike lanes and sidewalks. So on this project, the idea is to build the bridge to the south of the current at-grade crossing. So right away starting in 23 for that. Back to the east side of Greensboro, this is a realignment of Lowdermilk Street and Sykes Avenue, and with a future closure of the Pine Street rail crossing. This is a project that came out of the same plating document as the Franklin Boulevard grade separation. And this is to remove a redundant crossing, which is Pine Street, once Lowdermilk has been realigned with Saks Avenue, and we're anticipating this project will include a traffic signal. Also, there will be sidewalks included in this project as well. Out at the Pomona rail yard, the MPO recently did an action to move some funding. Originally, on the on north side of the tracks and between the tracks and Spring Garden Street, there's an empty piece of property there. It used to be a roundhouse there many years ago, and then this project, what the Norfolk Southern wants to do is convert that area into additional parking for containers, shipping containers. And so originally they were looking at starting their project in 22, but we recently did action to move the construction out to 2023. Two more rail projects. The P5735, this is building a grade separation for Gansford Street over the railroad. This will be north of Rankin Road. And so this was on, have not seen any drawings on it yet, but they're showing right away in 25. This project could slip into the uncommitted if they don't provide us with some design information. And same with English Street. This is English Street, just south of Market Street, to grade separate that crossing. And that crossing would probably have some impacts to Market Street. So that's, okay, now we're still building the sidewalks. We're trying to accommodate all users. We're also going to be soon looking at, along with our sidewalk projects, to improve access for transit users. We're looking at the stops that they currently have and the higher usage stops. We're 10 or more riders per day. We're planning on providing shelters. So that's an upcoming project that we're working on to provide those provide shelters along our sidewalk system. The downtown Greenway is getting closer to being fully complete. Thursday, March 10th, I believe it is. The city is planning to open bids on phase 4. This is a section from Spring Garden Street up to Smith Street, and it also contains a small section of A&Y Greenway from Smith Street up to across Benjamin Parkway. Again, we're looking forward to a bid opening on March 10th. Now, the rest of the Greenway is complete except one little section on Murrah Boulevard. During the construction of the Greenway along Murrah Boulevard, we discovered that the bridge deck, the bridge over Church Street, is in terrible condition, and the bridge deck needs to be replaced. So we're in the process of getting everything lined up so we can get a contract out for bid on that deck replacement. But that will, during construction, we'll be working with the technical team with the downtown Greenway to work out a suitable detour, because we do not need people walking through a construction site. Greensboro projects. Horsepen Creek Road, which we had hoped would be completed by now, they had additional utility conflicts that took a while to resolve on the northern end, I believe between Carlson Dairy and Battleground Avenue. What I've been told, those conflicts have been taken care of, and now they're working on the widening and looking for the completion of the Horsepen Creek Road project this coming spring. Alamance Church Road, this project was recently bidded and it's now considered under construction. The main contractor may not have mobilized yet, but this is to widen Alamance Church Road basically from MLK out to the city limits. This project is primarily 3 lanes for motorized vehicles. There'll be bike lanes on each side of the roadway and sidewalks. Vandalia Road, this is Elm Eugene to Pleasant Garden Road. This one is in the latter stages of completion as far as the design and right-of-way acquisition. So we're looking for this project to start sometime in 2023. And this project, like the Alamance Church Road, is primarily 3 lanes with bike lanes and sidewalks. Now, earlier you had a safety message. What we are doing, and the city has been doing, this started before the pandemic, was broke out what we're calling Vision Zero. And this is a program that brings various stakeholders together to work out the engineering and education and enforcement, all the 3 E's that are referred to needed to reduce the amount of injuries and fatalities that we have on our transportation system. So, so be looking out for another sort of, wouldn't be a kickoff, but it'd be, what? Anyway, they're going, later this year, they're going to bring this out again, do another big advertisement push to help get the message out. And yes, because we already completed the primary phases, and now we're in phase 2 or phase 3. That this is the only elements of our action plan that's being developed, and then getting word out to everybody. Now, the information that's available to you all, hopefully some of you all have been using the road project mapping tool. I add projects to this as the project design information becomes available. So some of the projects that we've seen that are upcoming, I haven't gotten the CAD files to those yet, but once I do, I update that. Many of you now have what is our latest edition of our Transportation Project Update newsletter. Then now, some of the funding, as I talked about earlier, we've done some recent action, delay a few projects, but all in all, this is still fairly up to date. And the city of Greensboro has been working on reconstituting their website. And some pages have changed, some location of documents that you may have looked for in the past are not there. I had a web link that didn't work. So what they've created, and man, I wish I made notes now. Peter, can you see the URL at the top?
Yeah, it says greensboro-nc.gov/transportation/projects.
Yes. That URL will bring you to this page. From this page, you can access the road project mapping tool. You can gain access to the newsletter. You can gain access to, I think it's resurfacing projects, and also a list of sidewalk projects. And this information is constantly being updated. So hopefully what's up there is fairly up to date. But that is sort of rather than going and looking at the road project mapping tool one side, this one location gives you road project mapping tool and 3 other sources, along with on the left the sidebar some historical information regarding various projects. Questions? Peter, do you have any questions for me today?
I'm going to stop the share. So, okay, yes. The first question, any railroad crossing upgrades or changes at McKay Road?
There is a future project. It's not funded. We have, this is one of those projects that gotten caught up with this change in the state's transportation improvement program. If we do not work it out and have it in the upcoming 2024 state transportation improvement program, we will certainly work towards having it in a future version.
Do you have any recommendations for accessing NCDOT funded projects or projected projects in the surrounding counties?
Yes, the state maintains a current version of their state transportation improvement program on the web. If you'll just go to Google and search NCDOT current STIP, S-T-I-P, it will provide you a link that will take you directly to the document. And that will be for all projects in the state of North Carolina, though. But I would say the documents, once, if you're looking primarily in the Guilford, Rockingham, Alamance area, you're in Division 7. So you'll be looking for projects under Division 7. If you're in part of High Point, and then rest of High Point and Winston-Salem's in Division 9.
How about Randolph County?
Randolph is in Division 7.
Okay.
Is there an estimated completion date for the Alamance Church Road project?
Once it goes construction, I believe they were looking at, it'll be a little over a year, I would say. Probably a year, probably take them 5 quarters to complete that project.
I know that there's a couple of questions about showing slides or posting links. We will get all of that information and put it on the hub for all of our members to access. I know the NCDOT I don't have immediately offhand, so I'll have to actually search for that, but it will be in the hub after today's meeting. I don't see any other questions from.
Okay, great.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Again, as in the past, if you got any questions, get in contact with me. You can call me or email me, and I'll answer your question as soon as I possibly can. Thank you.
Great, Craig, thank you so much. We always love hearing what great information you have to share with us, and thank you for always being so accessible to us. And I know that our members can reach out to you with questions. And in your honor, we are going to donate a book to our adopted elementary school, Hunter Elementary, and it's entitled Seeds and Trees by Brandon Walden. So that will go in the library at
Very
Hunter
good.
Elementary. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.